Hi, I'm David Terrar, and welcome to the third episode of our weekly show, Cloud Industry Forum Presents TWF. What do you think of our cool new mixed reality newsroom? We love it. Now, I'm the CEO of the Cloud Industry Forum, which is a not-for-profit, membership-driven trade body, and we champion and advocate for everything cloud, for cloud software, cloud platforms, infrastructure, and the service providers that support that ecosystem. We've got members like Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, Fujitsu, OVH Cloud, Escrow London, Softworks, Wolters Kluwer. Lenovo have just joined, and we'll be talking a bit more about that later. And if you want to find out more about us, we're at cloudindustryforum.org. TWF is a weekly show. It's going to be on every Monday at 10 o'clock UK time from now on. Each show starts with some technology news, some stories and gossip that we believe is significant for the cloud ecosystem. And each week we'll interview a guest. They might be one of our members explaining what they do. It could be a book author. It could be an industry expert, someone with a cool new product, someone with a cool new approach. Cloud technology is the enabling link across all of that. And we'll be talking transformation and reinvention and creativity and leadership and new business models and digitization in all of its forms. This is episode 3. From episode 4 onwards, we'll be on the lookout for speakers like you to contribute. So if you want to connect with us, put some comments in the LinkedIn chat below the show. You can email us at info@cloudindustryforum.org. I'm at DT on Twitter. I'm David_Terrar on Threads. I've got an unusual surname, Terrar, so I'm very easy to find on the web. Please connect. This news section to start this program is actually the third part of our kind of review of the technology stories that have happened so far in the year. So we've talked about generative AI, of course, sustainability, the technology layoffs that started the 2023. We talked about the fall of crypto exchanges, the slow and steady rise of central bank digital currencies. But all of that adds up to the fact that this year there's something special going on. I believe this is a pivotal year and the start of something new. You might call it Web3, you might call it the third wave of the internet, but there's something different happening. One of the elements of that, and something that's got a lot of attention in the earlier part of the year, and a lot of advertising spend, is the metaverse. We've got Mark Zuckerberg and even Satya Nadella talking about the metaverse in the present tense. Spoiler alert, it doesn't exist yet. We don't have interoperable, persistent virtual networks yet. What we do have is metaverse-like experiences happening using virtual reality headsets on gaming platforms like Roblox and Decentraland and Hyperverse and others. And those experiences have value. And Meta and Microsoft and Google and AWS and a lot of big brands are investing a lot of bucks in all of that kind of experience. So people are talking VR and AR and extended reality. Then a few weeks ago, should I say, Apple announced their headset and their vision. I'm not sure what we were expecting, but it took a lot of us by surprise. And in my opinion, it's a game changer, although it's going to take a while to change the game. So the Apple Vision Pro is a new style of device. It combines a lot of things we already use and understand. Apple, and it's always the way with the way they're messaging, they're not using the jargon. They're not talking XR and AR and VR acronyms. They are simply talking mixed reality to make it nice and easy to understand. Their approach isn't a multiverse-like experience on a gaming platform, but it's a new paradigm, and they're calling it spatial computing, and you'll see why in a sec. Their headset looks similar to a VR headset, and instead of using gaming controllers on a gaming platform, it actually uses gestures and eye tracking and voice commands. And we aren't being asked to code a new experience on a gaming platform, but we're using existing tools, existing apps that we already know and use day to day, overlaid on the real world, which we can still interact with. Now, this particular headset is kind of like big and bulky. And I realized that its $3,499 price tag means that it's only going to be developers and all your early adopters who are going to be queuing up out at the Apple stores at the start of next year to buy one of these things. But rather than positioning it as the next consumer device like an iPhone or an iPad or an Apple Watch, which also all have enterprise uses as well, think about this more as the next generation of personal computing. Now I'm going to kind of give away some of my age now by saying way back in November 1986, I bought my first personal computer. It was an IBM XT with a colour screen and a thing called a Pro printer. Its list price was £3,486. I got it at 40% discount because I was an IBM employee at the time. But my friends thought I was crazy to actually spend that amount of money on personal computing, because whether it was 3486 or 40% off 3486, those two price points back then in 86 would have bought you a very nice car. So quite an amount of money. The other thing I want to remind you of is the iPhone. The iPhone was announced in January 2007, but if you move on 3 years to actually Q4 2009, what was the most popular smartphone in the UK? And the answer is the BlackBerry, because there were people like me using it for enterprise email, and there were school kids using it because BlackBerry Messenger was the cheapest way to do messaging at the time in their call plans. Now, this Apple Vision Pro is going to take at least 3 years to become mainstream and to really make an impact. But the product will eventually go mainstream, and there'll be a collection of different things. If you look at how technology has developed since the 90s, we've had the Web 1.0 era where every business needed a website. We've had, from around 2007 onwards, the Web 2.0 era where we started talking, mobile happened, and we started talking about social computing, and we started talking about cloud. The web got interactive. It started to be two-dimensional rather than one-dimensional. We added multi-touch screens, virtual keyboards, facial recognition, things like that. I think this new era that starts this year, whether we call it Web 3.0 or Web 3 or the third wave of the internet, whatever, it begins to take us into a three-dimensional world where we're interacting with our technology using gestures and eye tracking and voice. And these new 3D experiences of spatial computing, not forgetting the metaverse-like experiences that some people are doing, are all part of this explosion. And artificial intelligence comes in to assist it. Other things will come in to assist it. It's changing the nature of computing. So I believe we are moving from static to interactive to spatial computing. All that means that we're going to need to rethink our business models. We're going to have to learn and relearn things, but we also mustn't lose some of the important messages and learnings from the 1.0 era and the 2.0 era. So that's been the wrap-up of the three-part view of what's happened so far in 2023. From next week onwards, we'll be talking about something that's happened in the week or something cool that sparked our interest. From next week onwards, we need your support. We need speakers to come join us. I don't know who's going to be on episode 4, but in a week's time, you'll find out. But now, what I'd like to do is talk to our guest, who's a very important person in our world of Cloud Industry Forum. I am delighted to be talking to our director and chairman of the Cloud Industry Forum that's just been appointed, Ian Jeffs. Now, I've known Ian for a while, and I'm really excited to be working with him. And together, hopefully, we'll take the Cloud Industry Forum to the next level and have some fun while we're about it as well. So, Ian, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do at Lenovo.
Hi, David. Great to see you again. And like you say, it's been a long time, going back to those IBM days. I think we first started working together. So, Ian Jeffs, I'm the director for the infrastructure business here at Lenovo in the UK. I've been in the role for 3 years. It's been an exciting time, having previously worked in distribution. So, yeah, really looking forward to working with everybody in the forum, and obviously, David, especially yourself.
Now, one of the key reasons we wanted you was because of your experience in the industry. I met you when you were at IBM, but tell us, what got you into technology and what companies have you actually worked for?
Cool, sure. So I do have a degree with some programming in there, so there's a little bit of IT knowledge. But interesting, my first job outside of university was actually in McDonald's. So my wife got me into IT, and she would tell you so that the stench of working with Big Macs on a regular basis was actually the major reason. So I joined IBM, but originally on the switchboard in IBM. I did that for about a year, but then realised that I actually found it really fun, really interesting, really wanted to do more. So I then joined the sales teams. I went into enterprise channel sales. I did marketing, operations. That's one of the benefits of working at the time with IBM for sure. Then I left IBM ultimately to go into distribution. So I worked with Tech Data and I worked with Arrow. So some 6 great years learning a lot about all the different vendors, because that's the benefit of distribution, and how they work in different programs, and they're also getting introductions to a lot more business partners and potentially people that we would work with in the forum. And then I joined Lenovo 3 years ago. So like I say, I joined as the enterprise as the sales director for the infrastructure business, and it's a great time since.
Excellent. Now, I know for a number of those organisations like Lenovo, you're like the country international sales director or general manager. And obviously, along with the marketing people, that's the kind of key person that we're trying to convince to become a member of Cloud Industry Forums. So you can help us understand the mindset of that person, can't you?
Yeah, I think we're all a bit different. I mean, yeah, I sales, marketing, operations. I think we're all we're all looking for the best way to spend money, the best way to learn, the best way to evolve what we're trying to do as a business model. So money's tight for everybody. Yeah, I don't think that's a secret. So when we spend money, when we work with people, when we spend time with people, we've got to think about it. We've got to think about, are we getting the best possible return on that investment? So that's a really big part of it, especially from a marketing point of view. I think that the world's moved on from the cold calling type discussions. Yeah, ecosystems, working in partnerships, working with other people is a much better way of doing it. And that's one of the exciting parts for me about working with the forum and working with yourself to grow that.
Excellent. Let's amplify that a little bit more. Why did you want to be the chairman of Cloud Industry Forum?
There's some altruistic pieces. I wanted to evolve from a personal education and knowledge and too, but actually it's really about bringing people together. I love building ecosystems and teams and growing things. I dealt with the forum probably 15 years ago when I was in IBM, and possibly we worked together a little bit then. And it's great to come back and then see how it's evolved, see how it's changed, and hopefully put some of my own DNA into that outside of the day job. So yeah, it's a little bit for me. Hopefully, I'll be able to put a lot in for the people in the forum too.
Excellent, really good to hear. Let's expand on that a bit. What do you think our members should be getting out of being part of the forum?
I touched on it before. I mean, cloud's been around for a while. Yeah, we've all seen it in different iterations. We've all talked about pay as you go in different formats. So I don't know if there's anything completely net new, but I think it's a lot about ecosystems, partnerships, and talking to people and bringing like-minded people together into a room. Sharing experiences. Yeah, what I do might work for me, but might not work for other people, but vice versa. Yeah, so I always learn from all the conversations I have with all partners. Yeah, all systems integrators, managed service providers, everybody I deal with in this role. I kind of learn bits from and take it away and then evolve it into what I do. So I think if we get this right, there's an active membership. There's people that want to talk and share with each other. Yeah, of course there'll be the work that we do with Disruptive Live around getting information out and doing those monthly video things. But I think it's about how we bring people together and get them talking to each other, which mainly I'd like to focus on.
Excellent, excellent. Now, we started using the cloud term way back in 2007, and you and I have both been around in the tech space for a long time. What's your perspective on the way cloud has changed in that 15 years?
Whew, that's a heck of a question, and I actually read a document. It's on the Cloud Industry Forum website. It was the term was actually started to use 10 years before that actually. So it's been around for a long time. And then it's evolved around pay as you go, and it's all those different things. So it's forever moving and forever going around in a circle a little bit. Yeah, is it public cloud? Is it private cloud? Is it hybrid cloud? So I think the thing I would say is it's just never going to stop. It's never going to stay still. There is no, I mean, you could talk about an endpoint, but there's no defined endpoint. It's going to change. If you think there's an endpoint, you're probably going to fall off if you're not careful. So, yeah, I would say it's just evolved and kept changing and gone back and then gone forward. And that's why I love it. Yeah, why would you not want to be involved with something that's continually changing? So, yeah, there's lots more to think about today. You can talk about AI, generative AI, all those different things. Then you get Chat GPT will come. All those things happen, but then next year there'll be something else, and that's the exciting part about cloud and yeah, staying on top of things.
We were bound to mention generative AI and ChatGPT in this, but what are the other hot issues in cloud at the moment, do you think?
The security is going to be a continual one. Data protection. Yeah, ESG type tech conversations that I'm hearing a lot, certainly in the role that I do today, around energy consumption, different types of cooling, and where people are going in the future for that. That's really hot for everybody. If you work with public sector clients, it's one of the first questions that you get asked, and I think it'll be more and more with enterprise clients too. So that's really, really, really big and hot right now. So, but security will never go away. And then I think it's about how do cloud providers differentiate themselves? How are they seen to be different from the other people that they're competing with and working with? So yeah, again, so many different things. I'd say ESG is probably the biggest one that I work with at the moment.
Yeah, the sustainability thing is a really big topic. So tell me, you're working with Lenovo, and obviously you've got the ecosystem of partners that you mentioned. How are the issues different between you as a vendor and the typical MSP?
I mean, there's lots of similarities. I mean, we touched again sustainability. That's the same for all partners. I think from a vendor point of view, you're always trying to make sure that what we sell is absolutely the best it can possibly be for those managed service providers. Equally, there is most vendors. If you think of most of the people I compete with and ourselves, we have a as a service offering ourselves. So how does that work in conjunction with MSPs? That's a discussion that we have regularly. But I think as a whole, we're all in the IT industry, we're all working in a similar way. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities, and I don't sit back and go, we as a vendor, we see these things in a certain way. Yes, of course, we have a point of view, but we respect the point of view of the managed service providers we work with. We often want to bring together. If you think of Lenovo specifically, we want to be the best partner in the industry, in the cloud, in the IT space, and that goes really hand in hand well with obviously with managed service providers, hopefully.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. And when we talked about sustainability, I mean, we do an annual research report every year. And this one that we just published about 2.5 months ago highlighted the fact that the sustainability topic has come to prominence. What extra research beyond that annual report do you think we ought to be doing?
I think there's a lot to do on sustainability. I think I think for me, it's also what's next with AI. I think that will be if I was going to say, if we were going to focus in another area, it's here. Yeah, if I look at my inbox has got so many conversations around AI. What does that mean? Who's doing it? How are you doing it? All those different types of things. The two things go together, though. Obviously, yeah? I mean, you've got sustainability, and if you've got a room full of GPUs and processors being run very heavily, you've got a whole conversation around how you're going to cool them. We obviously are very passionate with our Neptune water cooling systems, so we're really ingrained in that conversation and carbon neutrality and all those things. So I think those two areas are going to tie any research up for a long time.
Excellent stuff. Is there anything else extra things that you think we ought to be doing for our members?
I don't know. It's early days for me. Yeah, I mean, I want to spend some time with the members. I mean, I think it's talking to people. From my point of view, when I was looking at joining before this conversation started, it was where do I get new ideas? How do I get new inputs to the decisions that we're making? Most of the members have got great companies. Yeah, they're going to have some great plans already, and I hope that what we can do is help fashion some of their ideas, make what they're doing together a little bit better, and help them drive further into the business. So it's still early doors. I don't have that straight answer yet. I certainly want to evolve it over the next 6 to 12 months and beyond. But I'll get that mostly by talking to people.
Excellent. I'm really looking forward to that. But at its heart, our mission as a Cloud Industry Forum is actually to help our members do a better job. Ian, that's been fantastic. Thank you for sharing all those ideas with us. It's really good to have you on board, and looking forward to that next 6 months.
Yeah, no, thank you again. Really appreciate it. And for all the members out there, I'm really looking forward to catching up as soon as we can do.
Brilliant. Well, it was really great to talk to Ian Jeffs. Fantastic. As I said earlier, the next week's show, I don't know who the guest is going to be, but please contact us. Send a message to info@cloudindustryforum.org, connect with me, and maybe you'll be on next week's show. We're really looking forward to having you on board. 10 o'clock Mondays from this point on. Thank you very much.